We need to talk about LSU because that to me feels like a monumental win in a lot of different ways within the context of the season, within the big picture of the LSU Brian Kelly era. Like, I do not think that this is a red herring. I think that this is fairly significant. Let's stick with the game itself. What did LSU do that impressed you the most from this?
Make Bryce Young hold the football.
Yeah. It kept everything in front. It covered. And it goes back to like one of the things we've talked about with Alabama all year. They don't have the dudes at receiver that they've normally had the last few years. And that leaves them in the passing game kind of having to throw underneath to Gibbs or other running backs out of the backfield and to their tight ends. And they can't stress defenses outside the numbers, at least not consistently. And LSU do that. LSU kind of did a very good job of keeping everything in front. It was putting pressure on Bryce. He seemed hesitant to run. He didn't seem quite confident in what he was trying to do. There were some times where I thought if he'd have made the decision a second quicker, he probably gets the big player. If he takes off running, he gets the first down. Instead, he would get tackled and, sacked for a loss or whatever. It's just they were flustering him all night. He had a terrible game. I mean, he had the huge play, the 41-yard touchdown to Ja'Cory Brooks. He made plays on the stretch to get Alabama back into the game, but he was still overall 25 of 51 for 328. He had the touchdown, started the game with an interception. Alabama drives down the field, first possession of the game, and again, it goes right back to it. He's in the pocket. He's flustered. He starts to run. He could have probably just walked into the end zone. And then for some reason, he decides to stop and throw the ball, and he throws it behind his target. I can't remember who it was, but it's picked off, ends the first possession. And that was kind of just a sign for how the entire night was going to go for him.
So there's a coordinator in this game, right? Well-respected, popular name, NFL experience, should be getting a lot of hype for coaching jobs. And his name is Matt House. He's the LSU defensive coordinator, right? They did such a good job with their sim pressures tonight.
You should have sold Bill O'Brien more if you were trying to do like the real, there. You should have
a cleft chin.
Yeah.
LSU defensive coordinator Matt House. I'm sorry.
I've never met Matt House, but like that guy doing what he's done with LSU's defense, extremely impressive here. Like I thought he had Bryce Young flustered for much of the night, right? And that Bama's having to rely on throwing passes to running backs and getting creative with that kind of stuff is pretty interesting. He did not have to blitz much. He used Harold Perkins extremely well. If an NIL deal had something to do with that, money well spent, man. That is a hell of a get for the Tigers. Harold Perkins is, if he stays healthy, that's a 3-and-out first round, linebacker there. Tremendous job, like looping him off the edge. And you rarely see Bryce Young confused like he was. They played sticky coverage. They minimized the weakness at times of their corners. And I was impressed, man. That was quality. But also, like, LSU made nice adjustments in the second half, right? So in the first half, I thought LSU was trying to run their normal stuff offensively, and Bama really was eating your lunch. Like, I had first half under here, and I was like, yeah, this is playing out exactly like I thought, right? LSU tackles probably can't block Bama's edges one-on-one. Jalen Daniels is not able to process all these reads as fast as he wants. They're trying to run a lot of this four-wide stuff, or at least send like 4 men out in the route. And in the second half, they used a little motion a little bit better. They went to more 6- and 7-man protections. And I really thought LSU made the better adjustments in the second half than Alabama did and got the win.
So what's next for Alabama?
They might lose because they barely beat Texas on the road. They beat Arkansas on the road pretty convincingly, but they lost to Tennessee on the road. And they just lost to LSU on the road. And where are they next week? On the road at Ole Miss.
Is this Saban's last year?
Worth considering.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this amount of talent not getting it to the playoff is, I think it's really just. Does Bama look well coached to you? I thought it was so symbolic tonight, man, on the 2-point conversion out of a freaking timeout that they had to take.
Had the extra guy.
They still had 12 men on the field. The guy's running off before LSU runs it in. Like, to me, Bama does not look as well coached as they have been. Bama's best win is a squeaker in Austin over a 3-loss Texas team when Ewers got knocked out, right?
It's like when you look at this team, it is still clearly one of the best teams in the country.
Most talented.
Yeah.
And definitely one of the best. Yeah, I agree.
It's not going to be in the playoff now, but comparing it to what you're used to seeing from Alabama, it's not that good. Like in the context of Alabama, this is one of the least inspiring, least impressive Alabama teams I've seen in a while. And I feel like
No. Say what you said in Slack.
in the context of Alabama, this Alabama team is cheeks. It is bad. It is not.
The C in Crimson Tide stands for cheeks.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like last year they were better last year, but they were still the same kind of little things that was just like, It's like coming off of 2020 and even in 2019 when LSU won the national title, I just feel like there's been a slightly downward trend every single season.
Agreed.
So LSU's remaining schedule, because LSU has a win against Ole Miss. LSU has a win
tonight because they've got the tiebreaker on both of them.
No, I'm asking if you trust LSU to be able to win 2 road games at Arkansas, at Texas A&M.
At Arkansas, yes. Arkansas lost to Liberty. Texas A&M, yeah, but I think that, I don't think it'll be easy.
I think that A&M will be easy. Just watching them today, I don't think they have it. That looks like a dead team walking.
Transfer portal A&M
problem.
Yeah. Well, A&M had the flu today as well.
Yeah.
Right.
The transfer portal flu.
Yeah.
Is that what we think that was? Because
No.
My sister and her kids got like the
There
flu.
is no reporting. That's just me sitting around like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get hurt because you're checked out.
That makes sense. Like, what are they going to be favored at Arkansas? 9
to 10, probably.
Yeah. Like what was Bama at Arkansas?
Like 14.
15.5.
Yeah, it was something like that.
All right.
2 scores, I know that, or 2 touchdowns. I know that.
Clearly, they're not going to make Bama's power rating or they're not going to make LSU power rated higher than what Bama was going into that game. So, yeah, they'll probably be like a 10-point favorite. Arkansas has sleptwalked twice this year through these weird games. And they kind of screwed around with BYU for about the first 35 minutes as well, if you recall. And that was back when we thought BYU was okay and we didn't realize how bad they are. I don't know. Like, I think that the overarching verdict, though, Chip, is if they don't go undefeated, I don't trust this Bama team to beat Georgia.
No, Georgia's going to blow this Bama team out. So that was my other take. Like, even if Alabama had won, I was going to come on here saying, can we please stop the 3 SEC team in the playoff crap, because Alabama is going to get its ass kicked by Georgia and Atlanta.
Is LSU?
Yeah, probably. They won't be able to run the ball against Georgia. If you can't run the ball against Georgia, you're not going to be able to. They can't throw it. They can't beat you through the air consistently.
Yeah, I mean, most of their run tonight, they're like over half of their rushing yards were Daniels, right? So I don't know. It's possible. I would still have Georgia favored pretty hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course you're going to have Georgia favored, but that doesn't mean that they're going to win.
Yeah, I think a better point here, or a question I want to ask you guys, because I know Tom and I talked about it. Is the SEC down?
Yes. It is not that good. And as I joked before the show, the obvious way to know that the SEC is not that good is because how can Tennessee be doing this well if the SEC is any good?
George's going to catch your mic.
Sorry, Jordan. Illinois lost today, too. It's okay, buddy. I'm just dealing with it.